You cannot create a new life with the same old mind, with the same old identity, with the same old belief, the same old perceptions. It's like trying to fix a problem with the level of mind that created the problem. And this is what most people do, ironically. And everybody will tell you, yeah, I understand, right? Like, change your mindset first. But the reality is that most people still let what is and what was control the way they think, the way they feel, their attitude, their decisions, and everything that they do. And so they end up being in that box that they've been in likely for a long time. And from inside that box, they're trying to force things to change, right? And they realize, well, there is this glass ceiling, there is that thing, and I just can't seem to break through that, to quantum leap, to have my breakthrough. That's because they haven't broke through the box, the mind box, the emotional box that they put themselves in a long time ago. And so they let the same subconscious belief, the same subconscious program keep on directing their life. And because 90% of what you do every single day is habitual, is unconscious, is repetitive, no wonder your life keep on being the same. The main challenge that we have is that we think small, we play small, we hide. We have this tremendous creative power within us. And if you're watching your video, it's because you know that there's so much more in you, that you can create and bring so much more in your life. But if you don't dare to be bold enough to first think that way, to first think greater, to be bold enough to stop justifying your limitations, stop justifying your excuses, stop justifying your fears and your anxiety, stop playing the freaking victim, and start expanding past the limiting belief, past the limiting story, past the old experiences, past all those people who did you wrong, or all those things, letting all of that go and breaking through the old freaking box so that you can start create and evolving your mind and create the possibility of things evolving in your life. Life being a mirror, always reflect back to you the content of your reality. If you are in a box, and in that box is like, I'm not good enough, I'm not attractive, I'm never gonna make it, I'm this, I'm that, you will keep on experiencing this in your life. If you keep on justifying yourself about why this is happening and why this is not happening and why you should be getting that and not this, life will keep on treating you the same way. The challenge is to not go back into being unconscious in the old familiar way of thinking because we feel safe, because something is happening or something is triggering you or something is not working the way you want to. So to change that paradigm, to really have that quantum leap, is to quantum leap your mind, your thoughts, your belief system first, is to be able to become greater, to feel greater, even though nothing has changed in your life around you yet. That's the level of determination, that's the level of belief and faith that you need to have. You need to know that, okay, if I want to run a marathon, I can run the freaking marathon, even though I haven't run in 10 years. I'm going to need to prepare, I'm going to need to do all the things, I'm going to need to take action, but in my mind, I have no doubt that I will cross the fucking finish line, right? This is the type of attitude that you must have. And it's the same if you want a new job, it's the same if you want a new relationship, it's the same if you want a new house, it's the same no matter what you want. Can you claim it in your thought first? And sometimes it's so tricky because just this morning, I was looking at hotels for a little holiday and I was like, oh man, I really like this place. This is great, the location, it's beachfront, is this, but I cannot justify this price for just a few days. It's too much. So I started looking at different cheaper options. And then I paused myself and I was like, if I cannot justify paying the price for what I want, what am I telling myself? What am I telling life, the universe? So in my mind, in that moment, I made a decision that it wasn't even a possibility. So can you see that if you decide unconsciously, directly, you made a decision, this too much? If you do it here, where else are you deciding that this is too much for me? Do you see how limited we can become simply because of the thoughts we have and the belief system and the glass ceiling we put on things or situation, instead of looking at the possibility of how can I make this happen? How can I manifest that extra money? Right? This is possibility thinking. This is being bold to declare, you know what, if I want it, life will make a way. I may not know how, but if I want it, I will find a way. That's possibility thinking, but both will take you in dramatically different places. Because if every time you really want something but the price tag, or it's too hard, or it's too far, or it feels too out of reach, and you feel like, I just can't, I'm gonna settle for something lesser, then every time you're back limiting yourself. And that's because you're thinking small, you're hiding, you're playing safe, you're keeping familiar, you only do what you think or what you know that maybe you will get, or everything that feels too far or too much of a stretch or too expensive or too whatever, you shut down. It's not for me. So if you want your life to change and to really quantum leap, your mind and your thoughts and your level of belief and faith has to change as well. Because at the end of the day, you gotta break your fear too, meaning you gotta act by faith, right? It might be the hotel, it might be the next thing, it might be taking a chance on yourself, it might be applying for the job, whatever it may be. Sometimes you gotta show up and do the thing that will allow you to move forward. And this is also where most people stop, because there's anxiety. I don't know what people are gonna say, I don't know this, I don't know that. And again, they let the thought and the belief and the perception and the paradigm block them and shut them and talk you out of it. And so you're back playing small, thinking small, taking the easy way out, waiting for it to just manifest, right? When God already manifested the opportunity for you, but you're just too afraid to actually take it. And that's a very different thing. So you gotta take a bold look at what goes on in your mind and be real with yourself. Am I just making shitty excuses, or am I actually really allowing myself to think greater and to stop playing so damn small when my goals are so damn big? I hope this makes sense. Let me know what you think. It's time for you to play all in. Let's go, and make sure you hit that subscribe button first. Be well.